having sufficient levels of testosterone is vitally important for brain function, and having sufficient levels of estrogen will allow your brain to actually function. It turns out that estrogen is one of the main ways in which the brain maintains longevity and maintains its ability to think. Men and women need testosterone and estrogen in order to feel good and to be able to think. You do not want your estrogen too low or your testosterone too low.
What if I told you that the key to unlocking your peak performance, energy, and even longevity lies in a single hormone? A hormone that's not just about muscle or masculinity, but about your brain, your mood, and your ability to thrive in every aspect of life. Today, we're diving deep into the science of testosterone, guided by none other than neuroscientist Dr. Andrew Huberman. But here's the twist. We're not just repeating what he says. We're going deeper, uncovering the hidden truths, debunking myths, and giving you actionable steps to optimize your hormone levels naturally. Ready to transform your life? Let's begin.
Now I'd like to shift our attention towards science-supported protocols that increase the effectiveness and our performance in everything. So today we're going to talk about how you can optimize the ratios depending on your particular life goals, because the ratio of estrogen and testosterone in every individual has profound influence on feelings of well-being, feelings of anxiety or lack of anxiety, on reproduction, on sexual behavior. Having sufficient levels of testosterone is vitally important for brain function, and having sufficient levels of estrogen will allow your brain to actually function. It turns out that estrogen is one of the main ways in which the brain maintains longevity and maintains its ability to think. Men and women need testosterone and estrogen in order to feel good and to be able to think. You do not want your estrogen too low or your testosterone too low.
Dr. Huberman starts by emphasizing the importance of balancing testosterone and estrogen, not just for men, but for women too. Did you know that estrogen is critical for brain health and longevity? It's not just a female hormone. In fact, both men and women need a healthy balance of these hormones to feel good, think clearly, and perform at their best. But here's something you might not have considered. These hormones are made from cholesterol. Yes, cholesterol, the same thing we've been told to avoid like the plague. Turns out cholesterol is a building block for your sex hormones. So if you're skimping on healthy fats, you might be sabotaging your hormone production. Dr. Huberman mentions his love for butter, a controversial choice for some, but it makes sense when you understand the science. Butter is rich in cholesterol, which your body uses to produce testosterone and estrogen. But remember, balance is key. You don't need to drown your food in butter. Just ensure you're getting enough healthy fats to support your hormones.
The sex steroid hormones, which include testosterone and estrogen, they are manufactured from cholesterol. We hear about cholesterol as this terrible thing, but they are actually made from cholesterol. And so if you don't get sufficient levels of cholesterol, that can be problematic for your hormones, and that can be problematic for your brain and your body health. So without going into too much detail, I'll just point to a couple things that I do. First of all, I am not shy about my love for butter. I will eat pats of butter directly. Butter is high in cholesterol, so I don't eat a ton of it, but at least for me and for my lipid profiles, it's fine. Butter has cholesterol, which is a precursor to the sex steroid hormones. And so I eat butter in order to ensure that I get sufficient cholesterol. Butter also has some other things that are beneficial, various small fatty acids that are interesting in terms of their effects on metabolism, etc. You can look those up, the benefits of butter. But again, volume is important. You can't overdo it. One of the quickest ways to boost someone's testosterone is to have them achieve a win. Repeated failures take testosterone levels lower than they would be otherwise. There's a slow system associated with achieving wins, even small wins. And that slow system is in the form of hormonal control that then translates to gene control. So we should all be seeking optimal testosterone levels for ourselves, both testosterone and estrogen. And many of the things that we've discussed up until now, morning sunlight, exercise, fasting, those can support testosterone and estrogen in meaningful and positive ways.
Now, here's a fascinating insight. Achieving small wins can actually boost your testosterone. Dr. Huberman points out that repeated failures can lower testosterone levels, while even small victories can trigger a hormonal cascade that supports optimal levels. Think about that for a moment. It's not just about hitting the gym or eating right. It's about creating a mindset of success. Celebrate your small wins, whether it's finishing a project, hitting a personal best, or even just sticking to your morning routine. These victories send a signal to your brain and body that you're winning at life, and your hormones respond accordingly. But let's go deeper. Why does this happen? It's all about the brain-body connection. When you achieve a win, your brain releases dopamine, which not only makes you feel good, but also supports healthy testosterone production. So, if you want to optimize your hormones, start by optimizing your mindset.
I just want to briefly highlight two things. The first is that testosterone can exert its various functions only in its unbound form, free testosterone. We all make a particular binding protein called sex hormone binding globulin that essentially binds up testosterone and prevents it from being free. This sounds like a terrible thing, but actually it's a good thing because it allows testosterone to be transported to the various tissues, including the brain, where it can exert its various functions. For those that have lower than desired levels of testosterone or too much sex hormone binding globulin, it turns out that 400 milligrams per day of something called Tongkat Ali, which is a form of ginseng, can actually help increase levels of free testosterone. Many people experience a positive subjective effect and some objective effects as well, meaning increases in free testosterone when they do blood analysis. There are some data on that, not a ton in the peer-reviewed literatures. And again, always approach these with a sense of caution and definitely talk to your doctor. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to examine.com. There's a lot of information there listed about that.
Dr. Huberman introduces a critical concept here: free testosterone. This is the active form of testosterone that your body can actually use. But here's the catch. Most of your testosterone is bound to a protein called sex hormone binding globulin, SHBG, which renders it inactive. So how do you increase free testosterone? Dr. Huberman mentions Tongkat Ali, a form of ginseng that's been shown to boost free testosterone levels. But let's break this down further. Tongkat Ali works by reducing SHBG, freeing up more testosterone for your body to use. Now, before you rush to buy supplements, here's a pro tip. Always consult your doctor and get your hormone levels tested. Supplements can be powerful, but they're not a magic bullet. Pair them with lifestyle changes like exercise, sleep, and stress management for the best results.
The other compound that's relevant both to men and women, or I should say people that are trying to optimize testosterone and or estrogen, is Fadogia. Fadogia Agrestis is actually an herb that increases the levels of what's called luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone is a hormone that's released from the hypothalamus within the brain that travels to the gonads, either the ovaries or the testes, to stimulate the release of estrogen or testosterone. And Fadogia Agrestis has been shown, albeit in a limited number of studies, to increase levels of luteinizing hormone and thereby levels of testosterone and estrogen in ways that some people find beneficial. A key aspect to the midday meal, if you want that meal to benefit you, is to take a brief walk afterwards. It turns out that brief walks of 5 to 30 minutes after ingesting food can accelerate metabolism and actually can accelerate and improve nutrient utilization, which is essentially the same as metabolism. That's something that I do after I finish my noon meal. I do force myself to stand up and go outside and take a brief walk. That also gets me again into optic flow. It also has another benefit, which is that I am giving my brain and thereby my body more information about light and time of day, which is always better than less information about light and time of day. So getting that morning light pulse, but then also leaving the house or apartment or workplace and getting out for a few minutes after lunch is beneficial for metabolism, beneficial for nutrient utilization, and beneficial for all the organs and tissues of the body.
Finally, Dr. Huberman shares a simple yet powerful hack: taking a brief walk after your midday meal. This isn't just about digestion. It's about optimizing your metabolism and nutrient utilization. Here's why this works. When you move after eating, you improve blood flow and insulin sensitivity, which helps your body process nutrients more efficiently. Plus, getting outside exposes you to natural light, which reinforces your circadian rhythm and supports overall health. So, here's your challenge. After lunch today, take a 10-minute walk. It's a small change, but over time, it can have a big impact on your energy, metabolism, and even your hormone levels. Optimizing your testosterone isn't just about looking good or building muscle. It's about unlocking your full potential. From the foods you eat to the mindset you cultivate, every choice you make influences your hormones. So, what's your next step? Will you start celebrating small wins, add healthy fats to your diet, or take that midday walk? Remember, the journey to peak performance begins with a single step. And if you're ready to dive deeper, hit that subscribe button and join us as we explore more science-backed strategies to transform your life.